Okay, my friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Northland, and this is the service information that's generally hard to find. I was fortunate enough to have a customer that sent me a unit to rebuild, which is right here, and they had this data sheet and wiring diagram that they sent me. So I'm going to go over a couple things in case you don't know about it. First of all, down here, this is a picture of the unit. As you can see right here, we have the compressor, this is the heat exchanger, condenser fan motor, timer. Inside here is the evaporator, the defrost heater, the defrost termination switch, and the evaporator fan motor. Now when I first turned this thing on, the evaporator motor was squealing, and it seems to be a common problem with these units. So we're going to take that cover off eventually. I'll do a video on the rebuild on this, but for now, just wanted to go over some things in case you don't have this information. This particular unit is an NM11B, came out of a 30-inch all refrigerator. There's no freezer. So on the wiring diagram here, we have a circuit for the ice maker, which is not conducive to this unit. So anyway, here you can see the information. We got an 8.5 ounce oil charge. Our defrost timer is a 6-hour timer for 18 minutes, and the defrost termination cuts out at 60 to 65, cuts in at 20 to 27. Here's an airflow, the design of the airflow. This is a side-by-side, and there's a damper control on the side-by-side units that allows cold air from the freezer to circulate through the refrigerator this way, and that's how the refrigerator gets cold. This is a freezer on the top, bottom refrigerator, and you can see the pattern of the air circulation. So what we normally do on these when we rebuild them and test them, you see I have it up on 4x4s. I block off the front and the back, and I stick a probe in there and measure the temperature. So that's one way you can check it. And you can watch the other videos we have on Northland on how to rebuild these things. So here's some more interesting performance data. This is for the NM10A, this is the NM11B, and this is the NM13 and 13A. So we're working on this one. So we have a wattage draw at the ambient temperature of the room and the runtime. So over to the wiring diagram. We have these connectors right here, these harness connectors, which are, in this case, is right here. And you can see on the timer, on this section here, you see these ribs and how they match. So you would fold this over. You can see it here. It says power module, and this is the cabinet. So we're dealing with the power module. So right now, if you look over here, I've got this terminal here, which is on the machine, it's the bottom terminal on the left, but over here, it's right here. So that's the terminal. Because if you look at this closer, you'll see the ridges are on this side. So in order to get this thing up and running on the bench, you need to jump out the black wire and the red wire, which is what I've done on this unit here. So no, they're not all the same. Some units are a little different. So what you would do is you would jump out between that black wire and the red wire, which feeds the condenser fan motor and the compressor, and also ties in with this blue wire, which comes up around and feeds the evaporator fan motor. Now here's your timer, your 6-hour timer every 18 minutes. You have 4 terminals on your timer. These 3 terminals right here, I'll give you a glimpse of what it looks like in case you don't know. Get a closer look of it. You see there's 3 terminals, and then there's a space, and then there's a 4th terminal. Okay, that and those 2 copper leads. You can see those 2 leads go into the connected to the timer motor, which is on 24/7. So those units, the power for the refrigeration compressor and evaporator and everything else comes off the timer. And as you can see here, this is the refrigeration terminal right here. and that's the red wire which comes in over here and then connects to the red, which goes through the thermostat and then supplies your evaporator fan and your compressor and so on and so forth. The other terminal on the defrost timer is this terminal here. This is for the defrost circuit. Goes through the defrost termination switch through the heater and back out to common. I think that's about as much as I can cover on here. These are light switches down here and door switches. By the way, I said this was the thermostat, so you can see that this is the T-stat, and it's got 3 terminals. And here's some little bit more relevant information. And like I said, we're not using these, so I hope that's a little helpful for you. In case, oh, by the way, here's the ice maker valve. It's tied into the ice maker circuit. So next time we get a unit in that has a ice maker in it, we can cover that a little bit more. But for now, you can make a copy of this, and hopefully that will help you in your diagnostics.